Alright, so I went to the Neil Cole Museum of Classic Sci-Fi again, and this time there was quite a few changes this time. In fact, probably around 25% of things in the museum itself had changed or changed positions and new stuff added. And some of that I'm going to be showing in this video. As ever, I'm only going to be showing a portion of the footage that I recorded here. I recorded over an hour of footage total, so here's just some of the highlights, and as ever, I highly recommend you go to the museum itself.
The Museum of Classic Science Fiction will form the center of Dalek operations. Slave workers will be appropriated from the Annandale Co-op.
Hello. Hello. Fine, thank you. I was worried a second when when we drove past and I saw a sign on the door, thinking, "Oh God."
I had the COVID booster.
Ooh.
I'm ill. I'm not ill. I'm fine, but I'm under the weather. Are you a Patreon?
No.
No, at all.
Wait. I thought you said, "Are you Pat?"
No, are you a Patreon?
I'm a Patreon.
Yes, that's fine. I was going to say I don't want to charge you for your Patreon.
Yeah.
Right, do come in. I'll put the lights on here.
Yeah.
How are you?
Yeah, fine. I came car saw you all. Yeah, that, and then you were doing the stuff with the Davros, and then the Destiny.
The Davros is not. That's a long job. It's harder than I thought, so I'm working on that now. But basically, what you got to remember is it's so mangled. All the pieces are distorted. So what I'm having to do with it is I've got a cast from the original mold.
Yeah, you told me. I remember you told me last summer, and you said whatever you do, don't mention it to anyone. I didn't.
That's right. Thank you. And basically, what I'm doing now is. Shut up. So basically, what I'm going to do is I'm just starting to attach the bits to a new casting in fiberglass of the head. So it's from the mold, so it's an accurate casting. But all I can do is attach the pieces to the mask. That's the best I can do.
Because what you said to me originally is you said you were going to make a new mask, and then you were going to display what was left of the original above it.
Yeah, I'm actually decided the best way is probably to put. Maybe I should have done that now, thinking about it. But I thought I'll fix the bits to it. But like the cheeks there's a bit of the cheek. But instead of it curving, it's gone hard.
Right.
Like that. Now, I've soaked it for like 24 hours and made it supple. But even then it bends a little, then it starts to crack. So it's like, oh God. So the best thing is you're just going to have to, so it's not going to ever look great.
No.
But it's about what it is, not how good it looks, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Whereas some people are trying to get things to look really good again. But this is just a piece of this is a classic mask. It's a historic mask. You just do the best you can.
It sat in Blackpool for 6-7 years.
If that had been sold in there, not sold, if it had been soaked and moisturised and sealed, and it would have been still together. If they put it in maybe foam filled it inside and soaked it and sealed it, it would have basically it needed to bend. What's happened is it's dried out, flattened, and that's the problem. If it had dried out intact, we could have just soaked the damn thing, and it would have been great. But so all I can do now, and obviously the face is just at some point fallen off.
Yeah, I think the reason it went so badly like that round the mouth is one, you had David Goodison, which didn't help, but then also Michael Wisher smoked a lot in it, apparently.
I wouldn't be surprised.
So that's why it went so crispy round there.
Well, the chin was cut off for Goodison. Cut off completely, and they just made up his mouth, didn't they? So that was already damaged by that point. So it was only ever whole for 4 years, 3 years, or something 4 years. So it was only ever actually intact for 4 years, and then after that it had that bit cut, and then it was on display for a long time.
Yeah, up until 1889.
Yeah, I can't see. I never saw it in the later exhibitions at all. It'd gone to the ground by that point. But it's just amazing to have any bits left. But you meet people who say, I've got the original Davros mask. I've met about 3 people now who've come and said, I've got the original Davros mask. And I thought, this was before I got this, and I knew if it was intact, it's not the mask, because it couldn't be. And it was just...
Something I sent you a little while ago that you were interested, that there was an eBay auction for what was left for the Shakedown Santaran heads.
Yeah, I nearly went for that.
Right, I know someone did, I don't know if it was
wasn't
you.
Me. I wish I had. I was short of money at the time. But it needed a lot of work. I don't know if you remember it. It's a sort of... Now that's the piece I would have sculpted back, because the structure, the shape was all there. So it really was just a matter of putting a new coat on. The problem is I've got several masks now that need this doing, and at the point they all take. In fact, I'm going to put a video on Friends of the Museum about the Triffid. The Triffid is not in. I'm going to be putting it in next week. The Triffid restoration. I made a film about it because I did a talk last night, and it just shows you how much work went into that one piece. And all these pieces need that sort of work, and you can't just do them in an hour or two. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They've got to be. People sometimes contact me and say, "Oh, could you do this restoration?" And they'll think it's like a day job, or it's hours and hours.
I watch. I don't know if you've ever seen a PB Props in his restoration.
Oh, he's brilliant.
Yeah.
He's brilliant. I had a chat with him once. He is fabulous. His work, yeah. I mean, he's excellent. I'm not sure if he was a professional model maker at one point.
He
but he's
was.
bloody
I
good.
mean, he did a lot of work. He doesn't anymore, but he did a lot of work on the character options range.
Oh, did he do character options?
Yeah, he's responsible, for example, the Dalek sculpts.
Oh, he's very good. Yeah.
And also the TARDIS as well. He's responsible for that.
Well, the thing with like the restoration is, there's no job the same. So it's not like you sort of think, oh, I can do this again, or I can do that again. So you've just got to think of a new, like this Davros mask is new.
No.
Because I thought it would. I hadn't realised when I saw bits that I recognised, like the ridges of the brow. I hadn't realised how warped they were. So when I thought, oh, I'll lie them against the ridge of this cast, and they were way off, and I thought, oh, they've stretched, they've flattened, they've squished, you know. And it's like, so I do the best I can with it, and then I was trying to get it done for this weekend, you know. I was trying to get it ready for that talk last night, but then I just thought, whoa, no, this is just going to have to be a very slow and patient job.
I mean, once it's got, it's in there, so,
yeah.
So you know.
But there's some nice pieces here. The other thing the next big mask I'm doing is a guy called John Tobin, who's got a lovely collection. He's donated the Urak Tetrap head, and it's the animatronic one that was in Llangollen and Blackpool too, and it's a lovely piece. And that's that's all the shape's still there, but it needs attention. I've already soaked it in preservatives just to stop it deteriorating.
Is any of the animatronic part of it still there, or was it just the mask bit? Is the animatronic bit of it gone?
No, animatronic's there. The front of the face was cut off for exhibition, and where on earth that went, I don't know. So there's a cast, and on exhibition, it was missing the front face. It was just the animatronics. The animatronics bit's no problem because it's all fiberglass and metal and servo, so that's okay. It's the rubber that's the problem, but it's really thick foam, so it is coming apart. So what I've got to just do is, the problem is, again, that makes it harder, is this fur. So fur's a pain because if you're trying to soak it, it gets in the way. But then I found out that it's been velcroed on in places, so I thought, if I can get the velcro off. The only problem is, if you try and pull the velcro off, you start to tug the top layer of rubber underneath off. So it's like, So it's just another steady as she goes. It's like, honestly, it's this stuff. So people say, can you just do this? And it's like, yeah, but it's, to be honest with you, my priority is making sure this place has got the best, is the best it can be. So I want to always make sure, because like people like yourself will come again and again, it's nice to get new bits in. So there are new bits in, hopefully, that I'll see today. So it's like, so that's a prioritise. So before I would ever do a private commission one, I would always make sure that this, whatever's happening in here is best first, you know what I mean?
Do you think you'll wire it up to a servo and have it move, or will you just have it?
Too fragile.
Too fragile for that?
If you did that, there's a Venom mask you've possibly seen before in there. Yeah. There's a Venom mask from Spider-Man 3, and it works. It's got cables, and when you pull the cables, the eyes do this, and it snarls and everything. But as you can see it, you can see the cracks happening every time you do it. It's like, whoa, no, you just got to leave it. Rubber, no. It's a shame, because the animatronics are fun. And it'd be great if kids could go, but it's just too, they're just one-off pieces, and it's just too fragile. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So there you go. You have a look around.
Well, I don't know if you heard the news in the Mirror, but there's 2 more animations coming.
Which ones?
For some reason, they decided, of all the ones they could have chose, it was The Smugglers and The Underwater Menace.
The Underwater Menace I watched recently on DVD. And it's got the photo reference.
Yeah, there's actually a story behind that one. Basically, the people who were doing the reconstruction said, we can do a better one free of charge. And for whatever reason,
yes,
the director of that said, no, you're not doing that one.
Yes.
You just, we want, and he purposely said, we want to make it as shit as possible.
To do an animation.
Well, possibly for that reason, to try and
I found
goad it into that.
Right, okay, here's something controversial. It's not controversial. I felt like the Underwater Menace DVD was a good release. I enjoyed it, and I've seen enough of the Underwater Menace now that I'm not dying for an animation of that.
Yeah, I don't know whether they're just doing the 2 episodes that I'm missing, or whether they're
You
just
don't wanna
doing
do
the
whole lot.
full thing.
There's no point. I'd rather watch.
Well,
I'd
there might.
rather
It depends.
For me, the live action is always going to top.
It depends who they've got doing it.
I mean, my favourite of the animations is the Macra Terror. I love the Macra Terror. I think that's a really good one. That one.
I'm not the biggest fan. I think it's because also I'm not the biggest fan of Macra Terror in general.
Right. It's just, I like the Macra Terror, but I think I quite like the Fury from the Deep. But I'm not. The animations, I do like them. My children and I watch them. We do enjoy it. I mean, it's lovely that they're done. It's lovely that people take the time to make them. But I think sometimes the stories are so static, because of the style.
Yeah.
Once they're animated, it's quite static, and it's hard. I mean, it's a challenge for the animators to make these things go. That's why I think
Abominable Snowmen, which was the last one that came out, that one really just does not suit animation.
Really.
Yeah, because it's a lot of standing in rooms, static.
Yeah, I know. The I'll tell you which one was like that. It's nothing to do with the artwork or anything like that. It's purely to do with the fact that, as you say, the stories are character heads, aren't they?
Yeah.
Which is why sometimes you think, is it better photographs? It's very difficult. But I think I do enjoy the animations, and for some reason, the Macra Terror was the one that and actually the Dalek one, the Power of the Daleks, was not bad. That was pretty good, actually. I say not bad.
Technically three versions of that.
Yeah. I mean, I really like Power of the Daleks. So I think they love. I mean, I do like them.
There's one thing they keep doing with them, which I absolutely hate, and they keep cropping the black and white ones, which is a problem. For example, in Evil of the Daleks, there's several scenes where characters are completely cut off. Since I rip the Blu-rays, what I do is I rip the colour one and then grayscale that. So because there's ones where Patrick. Well, I may or may not make them available to other people. I'm not going to say yes. I absolutely do.
Yeah. Well, no, I'll tell you the things I really enjoy. I've been buying, against my judgment, I swore I wouldn't. I have started buying the Blu-rays.
Oh, I've bought all of them.
Of the box set. And I absolutely adore, and this is, I adore some of the new effects on them. And that's not saying I don't like the originals, I do. But I like the option. I've got no problem. As long as I've got the original version.
I can't stand them, to be honest, because when I'm looking at it, it just stands out far too much. Because the problem is that the effect just stands out.
I watch it with my kids. And, so obviously I've watched these, because I'm older than you, I've watched these till the cows come. But what's been nice is I've run a Doctor Who club for years as well. It's something like Revenge of the Cybermen, right? Which has some dodgy effects in it. I love it, regardless. But I just think, when I'm watching it with the young'uns, I've just watched Tons of Wing Chang with the Rat, it just smooths out the bits for a younger audience who are used to that. And I just find it's been quite nice. And I'll tell you the one I love was Day of the Dalek Special Edition.
Now that is the only one that I watched the special edition.
Really good.
And it's for one reason, it's Nick Briggs' Dalek voices.
Well, it's that, but also it's just the Revenge of the Cybermen. It just there's a few bits where it just it's the screen on Voga, like the view screen. I just think it's tastefully done. It's not in your face. You obviously don't like it, but
the thing is, you say kids won't like. I grew up 5, 6 watching those.
No, yeah, they will. They will watch it. Of course they will.
I remember Genesis of that. When I got that, I was 6. It was £20 for the DVD.
Yeah.
That was it. But for me, it just loses a bit of its charm.
Oh, I agree. Yeah.
It's like doing Wallace and Gromit in CGI. It just doesn't have the same thing.
I agree. I just don't mind them. I like the fact there's an option, and I'd watch it one way or the other way. I don't mind either, but I think for me, Revenge, I'd watched Revenge. I got it on video disc in 1982 or 3.
Laserdisc?
Yeah, Laserdisc. I've got them upstairs. But I put them on, and the effect even there, I remember, they stood out as being a bit, And then the one where they're spinning around Voga at the end. And I just thought it was quite nice just to see it, just with that nice. The effect I just thought was quite nice. It was just quite nice, and they're not. I just thought they were tastefully done. I don't think they were.
I've got the season 2.
Yeah.
And they've done.
What have they done on that one?
Well, they haven't really done any CGI that was pretty good because there was less of a budget for that because they're doing 9 stories as opposed to 6. Though they did do rescans of Dalek Invasion of Earth and the Time Meddler, and you can tell where the rescan stuff because you can actually see the scan lines on it.
Which one's CGI'd?
Well,
I know the Invasion of Earth. The
Dalek Invasion of Earth. It's basically whatever ones were previously done.
Yeah. All right.
That's
Is there a new one though?
No, there aren't. I mean, there's not really much of a one to it because the ones that I've already done already have one, and the others are just historical, so they wouldn't really need it.
No.
I've had a massive issue though with damaged season 2s.
I've heard that.
I've had 5 sent back because they'd all came damaged. They all came down. I had a right issue with that, and so far I still haven't got a perfect one. I'm still trying to get a perfect condition one and send.
Frustrating, isn't it?
Though I have ripped them and watched them, but they do look better.
I don't actually collect merchandise now. I just collect the DVD. I like the Blu-rays. I'm doing the Blu-rays now because I like the extra. There's a lot of good. It is good value for money, but I buy the thin line ones.
Yeah,
I know it's terrible, and some people go, "What?" Well, to me, I've got such little space now. I find those slim lines are really good. I actually like the plastic, just the basic plastic cases, because they're just a bit more. Because I get annoyed with, it's silly this. I get annoyed with opening the cardboard on the big set because it's like I don't want to damage the cardboard boxes.
That's why I always rip them as well, because then I never need to watch the discs again.
I know.
I just have them
Yeah.
in a cupboard. That's the same with all, because I've got that many Blu-rays and
I'm like that with my CDs. I get the CDs.
Oh, I still buy
CDs.
CDs.
I CDs, but then I rip them.
So do I.
Then I've got them archived. But then, once or twice where I've lost massive chunks of memory on a dead computer, or I've got my master still. So I'm a great believer in that.
Yeah, I
keep
keep
Have a look at this. Which has gone in. There you go. That was given to me by a chap who worked last year. That's his script he got, and that's the script he got. He worked on that one episode of Planet of Giants, and that's the original script that he gave to me.
For which episode?
It's episode.
Because 3 and
2, I think. Isn't it?
Right, because 3 and 4
Oh, it's
got
one.
edited together.
No, it's 1. Yes, well, that makes sense because all he did, his job was just. His job was basically, he was the telecine operator, and he was just an apprentice at the Beeb, and he had to just literally switch on while they were doing their recording, insert the film, press the button to play the film. That was it. But because of that, he had to get a script. So that makes sense. But anyway, very kindly sent me that for the museum. Well, it's nice to have. So there you go.
Yeah.
I'm just going to have to check upstairs because I'm looking after my kids as well. So I'm just going to check they're not killing each other, then I'll be back down. But just there's quite a few new bits.
They probably are.
Sorry.
They probably are.
What I'll do is I'll pull the door shut, so somebody can just ring the bell if they need to see it. Just have a look.
Lights blinding us.
No, you go for it. Just have a mooch around. There's quite a few new bits and bobs in. I keep forgetting your name, man.
My name's Ryan.
Ryan.
Yeah.
Have a look round now. Just take your time. There's an Ark in Space costume. Rather nice. June's costume from the Ark in Space is in there. So anyway.
Thank you.
Back short. No, you're welcome. You alright?
Yeah?
Yeah, you okay? No, just checking you're alright.
Yeah, I'm not dead yet, thankfully.
Good, sorry about that.
What happened to the other full-size guy that you used to have in here?
That's upstairs.
Ah, right.
That was a replica.
Yeah, I know.
And it was okay. But it was huge.
Yeah, I know. It took it. So you've got your Destiny one there now.
Yeah, and I think that is absolutely original. Now, original Dalek. I'm just going to go get a jacket.
The vacuum one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, what I'm doing is I'm going to use that one. It's fiberglass, so I'm going to use it in summer, and I'm going to have it out and about in the village. Because I thought I was going to get rid of it, and I thought no, actually, it'd be really useful to have a out and about Dalek.
Yeah.
So I'll probably put a little bench in it and get it working because it's hollow, so I might just. But it's just nice. Every time I speak, he starts. Every time I thought it'd be nice to have a dedicated Cyberman and Dalek little area, but original pieces, you know. So that's all. So it's like Cyberman and the Daleks. I thought that was quite nice way of doing it. So that's what I put in there. Sorry, my computer's been an absolute. Come on.
I'm surprised you like the heat.
What?
I know you like the heat.
Yes,
On those
I like
boiling
the
days you were sat out there.
No, I like the cold actually, but I feel the cold. I mean, I'm in my 50s now, so I do feel the cold. So basically, I'm sitting down here.
I'm surprised you don't sit in a waistcoat and scarf.
Well, it's gonna be.
This is how I generally dress. You know, this is not just because I came here. This is just how I dress. I actually found this is the Lavazzi one. I found it in a market for £5.
Wow.
Which is amazing because I'd already previously bought one for 60. So it's just like, oh yes, I'm having that. Because I won't, you know, take one around that's worth 70 quid, but £5, yeah, why not? Let's go around. Just go around with some of that.
So, do you drive today?
My dad drives, his dad don't drive.
So where's your dad?
He's in the coffee shop. He's not really. He's not interested.
I understand.
Yeah.
I understand. Yeah. It's quite niche, this, to be honest. Let's be honest, but it's for people who love it. That's what we want. That's what it's here for.
He doesn't. He's not interested in that. The only thing he's interested in is anything football type thing.
I don't like football.
Neither do I. I'm not interested in like any sport. Like
neither am I.
Like films, music, and obviously love all that. I mean,
I was never. My dad used to manage a little football team, and he used to take me to the football match every Saturday. And I used to take my Star Wars figures and play on the side. I had no interest in football. And it's like I was exposed to a lot of football. So it wasn't like a few people in the village said, "Oh, you're not going to get into football." Like, no, it's just one of those things. And so like for me, it was always sci-fi more than fantasy, science fiction, and love Marvel. I read Marvel comics. My growing up was Marvel comics and Doctor Who. Really, they were the two. And then any late night sci-fi or horror films I would watch as well, if I could. You know.
I always watch all the Halloween films and that around Halloween. Got the Scream Factory 4K Blu-ray releases.
I love John Carpenter films. I've got all his films. I mean, John Carpenter, one of my heroes. I love his music. Have you got his music?
Yeah, I do. In fact, yesterday I got a notification saying the Halloween Ends soundtrack, which I ordered. That's back. I'm getting 2 different vinyls, and I'm also getting the cassette.
Have you got his albums that are not from the films? The John Carpenter?
No,
I've
listened to them.
They're bloody good.
But I haven't got them. One is because generally the only physical music I buy now generally is either on vinyl or cassette.
So you're a vinyl. That's interesting. I'm still CDs.
I still buy CDs, and the reason is, one, there's a lot of time where they're the cheapest way to get something, but also there's a lot of like live concerts and stuff you can only get on CD, and I immediately rip them.
I do. I like my CDs. I like my DVDs. We've got streaming, but we were watching. My wife likes science fiction, but doesn't love science fiction. So she's more of a crime drama. She loves Sherlock Holmes, and she's more crime. Yeah. And the one that we've got started watching was Father Brown. She was about a vicar in a village. It's nice sort of. It's nice with a murder, you know, sort of nice murder. And we were watching it on BritBox, and we got the end of season 1, and they're all there, and suddenly they obviously decided to stop putting those up. So they all went.
Yeah, it's because BBC used to be a co-owner of BritBox, but now they sold that to ITV, so now a lot of stuff is going from there.
I didn't realise.
And also, I didn't know. I had a friend who was able to download stuff from BritBox. So I asked him, "Can you download series 10 through 12 of New Tricks?" I asked him to download that, and it was only the other day I was realising, hang on a minute, why is the last series missing 8 minutes from each episode? It's like, and when they put back on the Sarah Jane Adventures on BBC iPlayer, they also took scenes out as well, because they seem to do that now, where just like on streaming services, if anything is seemingly either controversial or not of the times to get rid of it. And that's why it's important to keep the physical releases.
Yeah, I mean, I like my DVDs a lot, so... And also the picture quality's not as good on BritBox for Doctor Who, I've noticed that.
That's why I never needed to bother.
No. We've got BritBox because there's a lot of good... But at least in particular, there's a lot of crime, there's some really good crime stuff, which I'm quite happy to watch, but I draw when they're on. I tend to draw and listen, follow them by, just like an audiobook really. But, can enjoy them, but no, I'm not deadly into them, but... suddenly just all these episodes, so I've just got them on DVD now, and I've got them. That's it. So it's just
I mean, for me, you know, I always strive for the utmost quality that I can possibly get them on, which is annoying because a lot of the time, a lot of stuff is only available in the US, so you've got to import it over here.
My annoyance with the picture quality, is my eyes. I've got to a point now. Eye-wise, I can't actually see things perfectly now. So my glasses will only allow me to see things to a certain level, which is frustrating. So like when you get me a Blu-ray now, when you compare to DVD, once I'm sitting, I can't really tell.
Well, I mean, with the collection sets, unless it was something that they've got the original film stock of, it's just going to be an upscale, so it's basically going to look not really much better than the DVD.
Yes, that's right. Yes.
See, I've talked to other Doctor Who fans, and I found Doctor Who fans are very tech illiterate, shall we say, because they think, oh, it's on Blu, it must be HD. It's not. These were filmed onto videotape back in the 60s, 70s and 80s. Season 19, though, that one's got the most amount of true HD content because a lot of it was on film. Spearhead from Space, that's all on film. The only story that is 100% on film, which looks absolutely incredible.
So where do you travel from?
Yeah, I'm known now as the B&M crawler because when the Doctor Who B&M sets came out, I went round 12 B&Ms with a suitcase.
Oh no! You buy them all up?
Well, I buy some for myself, I buy some for my friend.
Yes.
So that's why it's all like that. But yeah, I guess bought them all. Let's see, what was that last bit I missed? Yeah, I just go in and just buy, because I buy an entire box.
Yeah.
And the thing is though, my B&M, they know my local one.
Yeah.
They know me so well that what they do is they ordered in, because they're only supposed to get one box of Dalek sets.
Yeah.
They ordered in 3 just for me.
Bless them.
Because they know me. They know me. And I think I always say to people, just like, it depends how you treat people.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
You know, if you're nice to them and, you know, heal them and that, then do you watch the behind the sofas on the box set?
Sometimes they irritate me. Just depends.
Anyone with Janet Fielding in it, it's hilarious.
Yeah.
Although saying that, in the season 2, Sophie Aldred, when they were watching the chase, Sophie Aldred called the Maya Beast, you say Maya Beast, I say testicles.
Right.
Which I thought was hilarious.
No, I'm so sorry, I'm going to have to just answer a few emails. Another look round, or?
Yeah, I was just looking at that last bit there.
Yeah, go for it. You go for it. I'm so sorry about it.
Yeah, no bother. Yeah. I'm going to do a comparison video on my YouTube because it's changed a lot every time I go there. This is the first time I've ever had to change my camera battery.
Oh, really?
Because I film it all in 4K and that, but the problem is when you film in 4K on a camera like this, eats up the battery.
Yes.
Eats up the battery. I mean, so that's why.
So what sort of camera is he got?
This is a Sony ZV-1.
Right.
And
so that's not a digital. So is it digital camera?
Oh yeah.
For stills and video.
Mainly for video. It's meant. It was basically made as a vlogging type camera because it's got really quick autofocus.
Ah, right.
And stuff, but also it can film in HDR if I wanted to.
Right.
Which,
so it's not so obviously better than a camera phone.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, these retail for £700.
What?
Yeah.
What was that?
I got mine for $450.
Yes.
And that was because I bought it from a photographer who had used it a couple of times and just had it there, and he said, "Oh, I've got it with a few accessories in box, practically new." So
Yes.
I was just like, "Yes,
Yeah.
I will take that."
Oh, that's fantastic.
Because I take it whenever I go and that Blackpool or film all the figure reviews and that. I was annoyed with the Death Daleks that got released this year because for some reason they only
Daleks.
well, this happened last year as well.
Yeah.
They only painted the front bit of the MiG section black. The rest of the shoulder section was silver. And Peter just went, "Oh well, it's a factory error." And Aldebar, who's in charge of that, just went, "Oh well, the factory messed up." I just like, there's a difference between a factory error and then just every single one being wrong.
Yes.
Like, you know, if you're making a T-shirt and you forgot to put a head hole in it, you won't just go, "Oh well, it's a factory error."
I'll be honest. Every time I talk, that would really annoy me.
Yeah, well, for the first time ever, I actually decided I'm going to paint it.
Yes.
Which I normally don't do because it's not my area of expertise. But what I did is I just got cheaper matte black paint from Poundland.
Yes.
And took it apart and masked off the rest of it and sprayed it.
Yeah.
No,
I'll be honest, with things like that, I think details like that, I think are important because they're making figures not for general.
Yeah, the problem is Aldebar, who's in charge of it. The problem is he doesn't make figures for the general public. He makes figures that he wants. But here's the thing that annoys me the most about him. Sometimes he'll make changes just for the sake of it because he doesn't like having two of the same thing.
Who's this? What's he called?
Aldebar.
Aldoir.
Yeah, Aldebar or Aldur, depending on how you pronounce it.
Yeah. And he's the chief what?
Yeah, I think the problem is that he used to just do it all, you know, but back in, I think it was 2019, he decided, "Oh, I'm going to do the YouTube videos about him," you know. He hates me, by the way.
Right.
Because he sends them out to a bunch of YouTubers, like, early, and that, and basically they all, you know, praise him like there's no end.
Yeah.
When I buy them, I don't do that.
No.
I say what I actually think.
Yeah. I mean, the reason I loved the Harlequin miniatures, you know, the little ones.
Yeah.
Was because, I mean, there was the odd incorrect sculpt on them, but obviously they're unpainted.
Yeah.
So then you could then. Hello! Hello, have I forgotten something?
Oh, yeah, we were going to have a little bit of a plan.
Oh, right.
Plan some stuff.
Diary?
It's over the road. Shall I go and get it?
My diary's over the road.
No, my road. My diary.
Yes, if you could,
Shall
that'd be
I go
great.
get it?
Yeah. Thank you. Sorry, no, so I like the fact that you could paint them yourself. The only problem is it takes time. So that's why in the museum I've got a few bits.
Yeah.
But I've got the whole lot upstairs, and I love them. And I like the fact you could buy them quite reasonably, multiples, so you could sort of get an army of.
Well,
like the
not
day
now.
you know the day of the Daleks one.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if you count the Daleks in that. I can't remember how many I've got, but it's quite a few.
More that they
it's more
props
actual,
than they had.
Yeah. And it's the same with the Ogrons. There's a few more Ogrons, but it was just lovely. You could actually create a base, but obviously have to sculpt that. You know what I mean? But I like the fact but as I was saying, that the mandrels, I painted them quite accurately. But I loved those character figures. I had a huge collection.
I love
of
the
them.
Product Enterprise Daleks.
Yes.
I nearly got all of them.
Yeah.
There's only one radio controlled one I don't have, and that is the
Yeah, they were lovely those. Yeah.
the 22 karat gold painted movie Dalek.
Yes.
Because there's only 50 of those.
Yes.
And every time they go up for auction, they go for. Well, the last one that went up went for over $1,000.
Yes. Yeah.
So,
but I have to say, I did love character option. Don't get me wrong, I loved character option figures. But when I stopped collecting them, I maybe said this to you before, was when they did, this was years ago, they started doing the Forbidden Planet box sets.
Yeah.
Limited editions. And they were expensive. They were like 70 quid a set. And they brought out like 2 or 3 a month. And I just thought, I'd gone from collecting them in Tesco, where they were like £5 to £7, great. They
were $8.99 at that.
Yeah, and then they did these box sets, and I just realised I can't do the museum and collect these. And there were certain ones that were just subtle variations, and they went into it, and I was like, I can't do it.
I think I was the only person who was in his early teens who was able to get most of them.
It's a shame I hadn't known you then, because I could have made. You could have had mine. You know, I could have given you mine at a sensible price. You could have had all the ones I had. I had a lot, and then because I was really going for it, because I'd started collecting, and then I just remember once I realised I wasn't going to keep up with it.
Yeah.
I just thought I'm selling them to put into this, and so I got about 3,000, and I invested that into the museum.
I mean, the thing that took the cake for me last year, they released an Earthshock set at B&M.
Nice. I like the look of that.
Yeah, the only thing
if I
is,
wasn't doing this,
who in their right mind goes, I'm going to release an Earthshock set with no Cybermen?
Yeah.
Just I don't know how that would go through
Do
your
you mind? Right, actually, I'll just introduce you. Hello, this is Debbie. Debbie and I do art teaching over the road. So we just have to have a little meeting, don't we, for the week?
Yes.
Do you mind if I go and get my diary?
That's fine.
Upstairs. Ryan, do you need to do some more?
Yeah, no, I mean, I just was going about to head off.
Oh, right,
so
okay.
yeah.
Yeah, oh, that's no problem.
Yeah, go.
Oh, well, it's an absolute pleasure.
Oh yeah,
Thank you ever so much.
I still haven't sent you that Blackpool audit. Whenever you want it,
don't worry. Don't you worry. That's really kind. But I really appreciate it.
I'm currently doing a load of other fan tapes that were done, restoring them.
Yes. Oh, brilliant.
And they're a nightmare.
Oh wow. Yeah.
Because you have to re-lubricate the cassettes.
Wow. Yeah.
So nice to meet you.
Hi, thanks very much. Yes. Thank you. I'm gonna get some pictures of them.